Hi, if you haven't seen me before, my name is Erica. I got an A-star in A-level geography when I took it, and now I work for Geography Explained. So what we're going to be doing over the next few days, now we're really in that final run up towards your exams, is going to be speed running some of these guided 4-marker practice videos. So expect to see quite a lot of me doing this over the next few days. So if you can see behind my massive head, the first question that we'll be looking at is this one. Outline the relationship between the water cycle and the carbon cycle in the atmosphere. Now, we already know that the water and carbon cycles topic is a really difficult one, and personally I think when they bring the two together, it's actually the hardest part, probably even of the A-level geography course. So stay tuned if you also need some help in this area. As usual, I have the mark scheme up behind me, and the first thing I will remind you of, again, as I usually do, is that these 4 markers are point marks, so you want to have 4 bullet points or 2 points with development, or you can sort of do a mix and match approach of both approaches there. So the first thing that we could talk about is how increasing concentrations of carbon, but also methane, which remember is made partly of carbon, CH4, in the atmosphere has a warming effect on the planet, and that in itself is going to lead to increased evaporation. Personally, I think that is the clearest interlinkage between the two of them. And you can see you could then develop this point by saying how this could basically increase rates of precipitation, or equally higher rates of evaporation can further exacerbate aridity. So these are 2 really nice follow-ons that you could have, and these would get you an extra point. You could also talk a little bit about how volcanic eruptions release not only carbon dioxide, but also water vapour into the atmosphere. That's also a really clear way that these 2 cycles are linked. Photosynthesis as well requires both precipitation and carbon dioxide to be able to function effectively. Decomposition as well releases carbon dioxide, but it's going to require that presence of water to happen in the first place. You could definitely link this in as well to the melting of permafrost, or you could even maybe have that as a standalone point, which is a really significant contributor to CO2 release, as well as that water changing state. Now, a really good final thing to talk about would be acid rain. So we could basically talk about acid rain as an outcome of that relationship between water and carbon on the atmosphere. So you could then link that into things like ocean acidification if you're confident in explaining a little bit about how that process works. And of course, if you're not confident, this is a quick moment for me to plug our notes that you can find at geographyexplained.co.uk. It's a great last-minute revision guide. If you don't understand a topic at all, here is a little brief example from this section of the textbook to just show how spec relevant they are and how easily you can apply the knowledge that you find there to the 4 markers. And don't forget, this kind of knowledge could come up as a 20 marker as well. Follow our page for more like this.